Hello and welcome to my Dixie Belle makeover. My name is Melissa. I'm the owner and artist here at the Top Drawer RVA located in Richmond, Virginia. I'm also a Dixie Belle brand ambassador. For today's project, I'm going to be showing you a brand new decoupage paper along with a really beachy themed inspired makeover. After removing the hardware and cleaning with white lightning, the first step for me is to remove the finish on the top of these two projects. I have a tall dresser and a small end table. We're going to paint them to match. This entire look today is inspired by the brand new Neutral Grasscloth. This is a new decoupage paper from Dixie Belle. I'm changing out the hardware on this piece as well as the smaller piece. So for this part of the project, I'm going to fill the interior holes with Dixie Belle's mud. Once this mud has dried, I can sand it back to flat and you won't even know that those holes were there. I'm going to be using Dixie Belle's Voo Doo Gel Stain and Au Naturel to lighten and brighten the tops of these two pieces. Voo Doo Gel Stain is a water-based stain. You can apply it on existing finishes or onto bare wood. For this project, I will be applying 1 or 2 coats of Dixie Belle's Voo Doo Gel Stain on the top of this dresser using an applicator pad. You can build up the layers to make it as opaque as you like. For this part, I'd like to show a little bit of the wood peeking through, so I'll do 1 even coat of Voo Doo Gel Stain and see what I get. I find right now that bleached wood look is really popular online. You see it done in a lot of different ways. I've accomplished a similar look using white wax before, but I really wanted this to look like the actual bleach finish you would get if you poured bleach on naked wood. So, applying 1 even coat of Voo Doo Gel Stain to the top of this dresser will give me that look that I'm going for. You might find, depending on how much you sand it down, that you need an extra application just to kind of get that white finish on certain spots. I did sand this wood down to naked with my Surf Prep sander, so just applying it a little heavier on the actual wood lines. This might be pine, this dresser, where the pine finish looked a little bit darker in certain areas. So 1 even coat was all that I did for this project. So now I'm going to come in and do the same process to the smaller end table. Since both these pieces of furniture are going to exist in the same room, I'm going to paint them to match. Even though they're different wood types and wood styles, when you paint them in a similar fashion, you're going to find that you can't even tell that they weren't part of a set. When you're finished with your Voo Doo Gel Stain, you can seal it in a couple different ways. You can use plain clear wax, which is really great for keeping the actual color. You can use a clear coat in a satin or a matte finish if you want to keep it very similar as well. I find sometimes if you do too much of a satin clear coat, it can yellow a tiny bit, so I like to stick to wax when I do this particular color of Voo Doo Gel Stain. You're able to even use your Voo Doo Gel Stain as a glaze on top of a painted surface. Since Voo Doo Gel Stain comes in a lot of different colors, it works really well as a glaze. Now that my tops have been stained and my mud has been dry and sanded, I'm going to start with 1 even coat of buttercream. Now the reason I'm doing a nice even coat of chalk mineral paint on the dresser and end table before I begin is to build up a great base for layering and doing an ombre blend. So I'm basing this piece off of this beautiful brand new paper. This is the brand new Neutral Grasscloth by the Bells and Whistles line at Dixie Belle. Check it out, brand new, first time you're seeing it here on my YouTube channel. So this piece of furniture is actually going to be painted in a fairly neutral design, which if you know me as a Top Drawer RVA fan, I don't do neutrals often. I will put my own spin on this one. Don't worry, there will be some sort of fancy pants in here somewhere. Stay tuned. But for this piece, for my friend's home, that's a beach-inspired house near the ocean in Virginia, we are going to go all neutral, and I'm basing the color palette off of this brand new paper. So stay tuned because this is going to be neutrals with a twist. We're going to be adding this brand new decoupage paper, which is gorgeous. If you need to know the size of this paper, this is premium decoupage rice paper, one sheet, 22 by 31.37 inches, all right? And for you folks over in Canada, the centimeters are right there. Have a little peek. And we will be putting this on only the top drawer. Why? Well, because that's the design I'm going for. You saw me do the top piece of each of these little tables in Au Naturel Voo Doo Gel Stain, which is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous neutral color. This is going to be on the top drawer, and then I'm going to be doing a neutral base, which is why you saw me put one coat of paint on here. That one coat of paint is going to be like my holding place for when I come in with that best dang brush and start swirling all those colors around. Okay, so for this project, there's a couple of things that I'm going to recommend to you if you are a newer painter or if you're somebody that's new to ombre blending, which is basically ombre is just a mix of beautiful colors. So what I recommend is the best dang brush, because otherwise you're going to be using a separate brush for each color and using those brushes to combine the color palette together, which is not terribly hard, but this little brush right here is going to make your life a lot easier. It really is called the best dang brush, and it is a blend of synthetic and actual natural bristle brushes. I can't remember the actual split, but it's pretty hard, like a pretty pokey brush. So you're gonna see me go at this piece in small circular motions, okay? Small circular motions are what's going to pull this blend together. I'm gonna lay out the darker neutral colors on the edge, coming in lighter in the middle, and then on the second coat, but not really because I already have that base coat on there, you're gonna see me just sort of blend it together, pushing it together. You're also gonna need a spray misting bottle filled with water, which I have on the floor here somewhere. Dun, dun, dun. Here it is. You need to keep your brush damp. This best dang brush works well when it is damp. You're also gonna see me wiping it off with some paper towel or on my apron, which is why, hello, my apron looks like this when you see it. So I like to wipe this brush off, keep it damp, and ombre blend the colors together. So let's experiment and play with some paint. So there's a couple of different ways that people like to apply the decoupage paper to their project. Personally, I like to use a satin clear coat or a gator hide. For this project, I will be using satin clear coat. I like to apply it fairly thickly to the surface that you're working on so that when you do put the paper over top, you're able to kind of mash it around. You can use your brush, you can use a brayer, which is a rolling kind of a tool. It looks like a little roller skate wheel that you can roll along top of your surface. I know some people do like an iron method, but this is the way that I found works best for me. So once you've applied your satin clear coat to the entire surface, lay down your paper gently. This is where I like to start from kind of the middle and work my way out. Working my way out from the middle allows me to push out any wrinkles or air bubbles that might accumulate underneath the paper. Here you can see me using that brayer, that small little rolly kind of tool. I did order this off of Amazon specifically for using for decoupage paper. But between the two, the brush and the brayer, you can really get this smooth. I am going to leave my paper in an overhang over the edge, and I will show you what I do with the paper once this gets dry. So I know I could stop the video right now, kind of like cut and paste, and then show you the finished product. But I think by showing the entire process, like as I go through and as I gently push down all those edges and make sure I get all that clear coat up and under the paper, it's kind of important for you to see how long it takes. This isn't quick for me. I mean, I'm still a fairly new beginner when it comes to adding decoupage to my projects. So if you have any handy dandy tips, go ahead and leave in the comments below for others. But this is important for you to see how I do my decoupage process and kind of the long time that it does actually take. I really use my brush in the edges in the corner along with my finger to push that paper down and make sure I get it really pressed up tight against the wood painted surface. This way I'm going to save myself some time later if there's any bubbles or anything. It's easy to move around when it's wet. This paper is fairly strong and it doesn't rip easily. So after your clear coat has completely dried and your drawer is ready to go, I like to take a small sanding pad and come in around the edges and gently rub until the paper rips. This way I'm not going to have any weird lines, like it's going to be exactly lined up to where the edge of the drawer is. So use your sanding paper to brush off and create that natural tear right at the edge where your paper ends. So sometimes you're going to find that you get like a little stray bit that didn't secure down, especially when you leave those edges lapped over like I did. I just take a small brush and my clear coat, make sure to get underneath the paper and then get over top of the paper, again making sure that it is adhered super duper well. I will come back in later when this has completely dried and add another top coat of satin clear coat just to double ensure and protect my work. While that drawer was drying, what I did was come in and actually paint the rest of the dresser. You saw me use that darker to lighter ombre finish, and I basically did the exact same thing around the entire base of the dresser. I ordered some plain wood knobs from Amazon and then stained them with the Au Naturel Voo Doo Gel Stain as well. This way they're going to really blend and pull together this piece. So, camera's back on. Here's the thing about painting furniture. Sometimes you envision something in your brain and it just does not work out. This beautiful dresser, like I said, I think before in one of the previous mentions, is for a friend of mine. So she sent me some inspo pics and she really wanted like a neutral beachy feel. She showed me grass cloth, she showed me inlay. I was thinking about doing like Mudcloth Stencil on the drawers, but I've put the drawers back in and I looked at it and then I thought, well, you better put the knobs in, which I've stained in Voo Doo Gel Stain, and I don't like it. I don't like it. So this is real life, people. This is how we paint in this house. Sometimes things just don't turn out the way that you think they're going to. So what did I do so far? I'm going to show you. So far in this piece, we've painted the base, we've decoupaged the top drawer, we've done the knobs, and I've kind of just put them on so that I can look at it. I'm not used to painting neutral. I'm not. I paint color all the time. I think maybe looking at neutral paint is making me a little squirrely. I don't like the darkness of this. The colors I picked were because of this beautiful grassy looking paper, but I just don't like it together. So I grabbed some white wax. Now Dixie Belle's wax is water-based, okay? So this is a water-based white wax. It's very easy to apply. It's very creamy. You can see it. I'm coming in close, coming in hot right there. See that? So you can put it on and you can wipe it back. Now here's what I did. I took my La Petite, which is a small natural fiber brush, which for some reason, I think I've let it sit too long in the cleaner. It's shedding. It's shedding more than I like, but that's okay because this isn't paint, this is just wax. I can pick off those little bristles. I put white wax in this drawer. What do you think? Do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like this? A or B? I mean, I'm asking you like you have an opinion, but I legit am just talking to myself. I like this lighter value. I still might do a faux inlay on these drawers, but I'm going to show you how to get this technique, okay? And I'm actually going to have to take all these drawers out and white wax the base as well. Dun, dun, dun. So annoying. But c'est la vie, I have to do it, right? It's got to go this way, or otherwise I'm just going to keep looking at it and be bothered. So let me show you how to put on white wax, or how I put on white wax. All right, I'm gonna keep my mic on and talk you through this. So this little ombre blend, remember we did this already. I'm going right over top of this ombre blend. This is a water-based wax. You can see how creamy it is in my brush right here, right? I'm gonna show you how I put it on. And now it looks scary, don't be scared. Don't be scared, but I'm gonna put it on and I'm gonna go heavy. We're going heavy, people. We're going heavy with the wax because it's water-based. What does that mean? That means I'm able to wipe it back and get it to the consistency that I like on the front of a piece. I am gonna do the entire front, and now this is where I'm gonna run into some troubles because I did remove any little hairs that were on here, but I've got a tiny little finishing pad on the floor. If I see a hair that's bothering me that's, you know, stuck in the paint or whatever, I can easily wipe it back. I'm gonna cover the whole drawer in wax, okay? So right now it looks gross. It looks gross. So I'm going to take an applicator pad, same one that I was playing with actually with the Voo Doo Gel Stain. This is still wet from when I did it up here. I'm going to show you how to wipe this back, okay? So you can spray your cloth or you can spray your piece. I don't want to spray my piece because I don't want drips. I just want to leave this wax in the crevices. Can you see how when you wipe it back, this becomes more prevalent and then this becomes more like ingrained into the little areas that aren't as risen, if you should say that. It's probably not proper to say that. That aren't as, what's the word I'm looking for? Indented? That would work. So this wax is sitting inside the crevices. Where there are no details, the wax is gonna come back a little bit. So this is water. This is water-based wax, and I'm spraying my little applicator pad and I'm wiping the drawer. I'm leaving some of it around the edges. I don't want it to be perfect. I want to be able to still see this wax. So now, presto changeo, what do you think? It's better, right? It's better. So now I'm going to white wax the entire dresser. Do I want to? No. Do I have to? Yes. Sometimes things just don't go as planned. And that's why I'm leaving it in here, because I think that sometimes painters think, oh, that's so easy. She makes it look so easy. Sometimes I repaint entire pieces, and I was this close to taking the buttercream and legit repainting the whole entire thing. But I'm gonna white wax it all and reassess the situation, so hang with me. I'm back. I look a hot mess, but yo, again, real life, this is how we work. At least I have makeup on. It could be worse. So now what do? Do I do the top? Because as I'm working on this top level, I see that I get some wax on here. I'm like, meh, I can wipe it off with water. But I'm like, ooh, I kind of like the color of the white wax on the stain. Remember we stained the top with the Au Naturel. Do I just wax it? Do I just go for it and wax it and hope for the best? Because if this is wrong and if I make a mistake, that part's easy to fix and wipe off. This grain, not so much. I feel like I should white wax it just gently so that it's like more on the edges, right? It's gonna give it the beachy feel, but then that means I have to wax the darn knobs. And that leaves me with the issue, do I wax the top faux grass of the decoupage? I think what I'm gonna do is take a break. I'm gonna take a break and walk away. Sometimes it's best to just walk away, regroup, refocus, come back to it with a fresh look, and we'll see what happens. All right, hang tight, I'll be back. You'll see me very gently pouncing on this Voo Doo Gel Stain. I know that it's gonna dry really close to what's on the piece, but I think it's gonna give me enough definition to kind of, I don't know, almost look like a fake inlay. So I'm gonna go along with this method across one even drawer, assess, and then continue if I like it. So, turns out I actually do like it. I like it much, much better now. I don't know why. I just needed to add all of the things to this piece to make it a little bit more, I don't know, Melissa from the Top Drawer RVA fancy. It was just looking too plain for me. So now that I have done one drawer, I will complete all of the rest and move along with this piece. I'm going to stick to my original plan for using my wax brush and clear wax. It looks white in the container, but trust me, it's clear. And I'm going to apply it to the top of both of these pieces, and I will use another method of sealing for the base of this project. So I decided to use hemp oil to seal the base of my project. The reason I like hemp oil is that I can kind of control the way that it goes on. I'm not going to rub off my Voo Doo Gel Stain. I'm just gently applying it. I'm going to let it sit for a couple hours and then I will buff it back. Hemp oil is amazing for giving you a tough as nails top coat. And just so you know, I also did seal my knobs because they were raw wood that I stained with my Voo Doo Gel Stain. I actually brushed them gently with a tiny bit of white wax and then used my hemp oil to seal them as well. Just when you thought you were completely done your project, you then remember you have to do the whole other end table. So I completed the small little end table in the exact same fashion that I did the big dresser. And here they are, finally finished. This project took me days longer than a regular project would, just because there was two of them and because I fussed with it so much to get it exactly the way that I wanted it. These two beautiful pieces are now on their way to my friend's house. I hope that she enjoys them as much as I do. Welcome to Virginia. Charlotte, I hope that you really like these pieces. I'm sure that we will be painting a lot more together.